And we're back, and right away we're going to get to see our finalists here in the men's 400-meter individual medley.
And there are the top 8 in the men's 400 individual medley. 3 men in this heat have been under the Aqua A standard, and they'll have lanes 3, 4, and 5. The favorite will be in lane 5, Tristan Jankovics, who's, judging by how relaxed he looked in the prelim, we may see drop about 10 seconds here tonight. He was this year's NCAA runner-up in the 400-yard IM. Lauren also competed in that event at the NCAA Championships as well. Both made their first Olympic team last summer. Lauren's been down at a 4.12 before, and Jankovics has been down at a 4.11. Gagne in 3 qualified to swim this event at the 2023 and 2024 World Championships. Eyes right now in the middle of the pool.
Well, as Brittany said, lanes 3, 4, and 5 are where the race is predicted to be. That's the 2nd, 4th, and 7th fastest Canadians all time in this event. Jankovics just missed the Canadian record by 0.3 of a second last year at our Olympic trials.
Yeah, and I was just about to say that. Brian Johns, that Canadian record stands from back in 2008 and hasn't been, come close to being touched. And Jankovics kind of scared it last year at the trials. So 4:11.41 is the time we're eyeing for that. He's been a best time this week already in the 200 IM, so we know he's in top form. But in order to send 2 men to the World Championships, that time standard is a 4:17.48. As I mentioned, 3 in the heat have been under it before.
Well, Wigington getting out very fast in lane at number 4. This morning his butterfly was a 56.98. It was at a pretty quick clip as well. Then you got Jankovics right beside him. And 56.13, 56.7 for Jankovics. So he is much faster than he was at trials last year.
Yeah, and Lauren, I was actually really impressed with. Throughout the week, we've seen some of the veterans take it pretty relaxed in the prelim, and this morning he put together a very strong time. Only really shut it down when it came to the freestyle, so I don't know if it was kind of a confidence builder or he just wanted to put himself in that uncomfortable position to be successful here tonight. But a solid fly, like you said, and here comes Jankovics to start putting himself in the top of the position here.
Well, very solid backstroker. Here's Tristan Jankovics in his own right, and here we go, 32.7. So he did outsplit Wigington by a half second. He's pulled almost up and even. He's just 1/100th of a second back. And, lots of perseverance on the part of Wigington. He missed making the Olympic team in his very best event last year and managed to come back a couple days later and do it on the relay.
Yeah, I can't put enough context into how grueling this race is. The 400 IM is such a mental and physical battle, so all the athletes that swim it really have to go through the ringer, but when it works in your favor, it's magic. But when the pain starts to build, it can be very uncomfortable. Right now, though, Jankovics is under Canadian record pace.
Well, and he's 0.6 of a second better than he was at the trials last year when he did his best time, so we could see back-to-back Canadian records. And he had a really strong breaststroke last year. 35.1 was his first 50 split, and he backed that up with another 35, so it was great swimming. But look at Wigington. He is not giving up in lane number 4, putting up a very solid breaststroke leg of his own.
Yeah, we know he has a strong freestyle too, so this is a really exciting position for both of these athletes to be in.
So just a little bit off on his pace as Jankovics on that first leg of breaststroke, splitting 36.1. Wigington looks strong. They're both great freestylers in their own right, so we're going to have to see what they get through to come into the 300. I actually don't think it's going to be difficult for them to get underneath the qualifying standard of 4:17.48. Really, it's just a matter of how close can they get to their personal best and perhaps even that Canadian record.
And I mentioned earlier, Lauren Wigington's best time is a 4:12.81. It comes from the Junior World Championships back in 2023. Jankovics' best time is a 4:11. That comes from trials last year.
So we're going to need a pretty quick freestyle if he's going to have any chance of getting down to that record. 3:13.84 is just a little bit off from where he was at the trials last year, but he looks very good through the first 25 meters of freestyle. And look at Wigington beside him in 4, looking very strong as well.
Yeah, Lauren's not letting him get away, although breathing to the other side. He's definitely aware of where Jankovics is swimming right now.
And Jankovics first to the 350-meter mark. 3:43.82, just a little bit less than a second as Wigington back in lane number 4. They're both going to go underneath that qualifying standard. It's going to be great to see two men underneath it.
And here comes Lauren Wigington putting his head down and trying to win this race.
Well, what a finish. Jankovics is breathing to the right. He cannot see Wigington coming up on his left. He might just sneak by him as they come to the flags, and the finish is going to be Jankovics just by 0.2 of a second. 4:13.15 to Wigington's 4:13.40. Both of them under the RCAQ qualifying standard for this summer's World Championships.
And that is how you get better. You challenge one another, you push each other to special times. Congratulations to those two. Adding the 400 IM to, well, for Lauren, that was his first event. So Lauren Wigington adds his name to the roster. Jankovics adds an event on top of his 200 IM.
Yeah, I just saw a big sigh of relief from mom and dad in the stands, as it should be. That's a very exciting swim for their son to qualify for the World Championships this summer.
And to have a 400 IM come down to the wire like that, these athletes are trying to think back to pretty much every hard practice you've ever done, letting it all soak in and trying to dig as deep as possible. But congratulations, what a race that was. What a solid performance.
And the two of them had a great race last year at trials. Jankovics was a little bit further ahead at that trials, and he was the only one to go underneath that standard. But you know, here tonight it was a fantastic performance. Just as you said, both of them pushing each other the entire way along, with the lead trading back and forth the way that it did. Excellent swimming by these two young men. Yeah,
they say iron sharpens iron. And other than that trials performance for Jankovics, this is, you know, right up there with some of his best. His other next fastest performance is up at a 2:15. So, you know, although he's had one swim faster than this, he's only had one swim faster than this. So you got to be pretty satisfied with that performance and to build on that going into Worlds.
Absolutely. And shout out to our third place finisher, Eric Brown. A solid swim by him as well. Down at 4:18.56, just right on his lifetime best, only 0.2 of a second slower. But we're going to go to the pool. Chris Highmark Watson has our event winner, and we'll hear from him right away.
All right, Victoria, put your hands together for your winner of the 400 AM, Tristan Jankovics, here tonight. Tristan, a great battle down to the final touch with you and Lauren Wigington. You guys were under Canadian record pace by 1.5 seconds after the first 100. Is that record from Brian Johns in 2008 in the back of your mind?
I mean, it has been since last year, since I just missed it. It's obviously a legendary record. It's been standing for however long. So I'm going to keep trying to inch at it and hopefully get it one day.
Chip away at it. Now, you're going to have the opportunity to swim this event in Singapore as you represent Team Canada this summer. What will you do between now and when you get to the meet in Singapore to really sort of tune in on this 400 IM?
I got to talk to Coach. Coach knows best, so whatever Coach wants.
Listen to that, young swimmers. Coach knows best, whatever the coach wants. Tristan Jankovics, congratulations on your win here tonight in the 400 individual medley.